Oh, hey, mom bitches. Welcome back to another episode of the Mom Bitch Podcast. We are your host, Celia and Cami. And today we are so excited because we have a fantastic episode for you, okay? We are talking about Easter. Okay, we're going to make it fun. We have so many new ideas that we've researched to help you take this quick take and go information so that you can have a healthy and nutritious but cute Easter with your family. We're also going to talk about the rise of cancer and kind of why we want to talk about incorporating like healthy foods into our conversations because it takes a lot of research and time to really nail it. And with your biomedical and science background, I feel like, especially over the past few years, you've done so much to just change your gut health that you can help us. And then we're also going to talk about the conspiracy theories with Kate Middleton in our social media culture because it can be very dangerous and toxic. And we have to remember she's just a mom herself. So buckle up, grab your cup of coffee, water, get on your fuzzy socks. Cammy's got her Easter airs on. We're about to dive into it. So let's talk about it. Kate Middleton,
Let's do
what
it.
are your thoughts?
Okay. So what does this say about, us as a culture? I mean, it went so far. It
I
was
know.
the affair, right? It was she had a mommy makeover, botched plastic surgery. Is she dead?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Okay, so
Is
I
she
cannot say,
AI?
yeah, I cannot say that I am without fault. Okay, because I was totally, at first I was like, this is ridiculous. But then when the clone came out and I was like, that's not Kate Middleton, I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird. What are they trying to hide? I didn't think they killed her, but, I definitely divulged a little bit into it.
I mean, we all did.
But for her to have to publicly come out and
I
to the
know.
world, to the world, imagine if you had cancer and you're a mom of 3 children and you have to come out on a world platform and tell everyone, what is going on and ask for privacy. I mean, how astonishing. It was a backhanded slap to the entire world.
I mean, honestly, I'm from the digital space. So I'm pretty passionate about how you represent yourself online. And that's why we're making the Mom Bitch podcast because are we perfect? No. But is there need for more resources to be factual and informative? Yes. And the thing that really bothers me about the Kate Middleton conspiracies is that people were making money off of this. And I'm
Hmm.
sure people meant it innocently, but there's
Sure.
like girls that have this Instagram account that have all of these different stories and conspiracies. We have celebrities, even if they're not directly posting about Kate Middleton, they're utilizing that angle to try to drive
Yeah.
engagement on their
Hmm.
brands and social
Sure.
media. And at the end of the day, if you think about it realistically, that is an organization, that's the government over there. So if someone is stepping away, it's probably for a very good reason.
Right.
And there's just no privacy. And I think it's like hate and bullying, and it should be illegal to put false information out there because the thing that drives me up the creek the most is not just people making money, but the fact that she has children and we're adults
Yeah, absolutely.
basically pushing fear into the younger generation because these children are going to read articles, they go to school, they see things. And yes, are they like in a completely different lifestyle setting? Yes, but they were born into that. They still deserve
Mhm.
respect and
Yeah.
privacy. And I just think it's so crazy. And I hope people really look at this as an example to drive change when it comes to like online conspiracy theories, all of the people that are like trying to market and drive revenue from it. Like it was just really sad to see. And like you said, like when she had to come out and she from the heart is telling people her privacy, her HIPAA, right? Like her own journey, the first thing people are like, "It's AI, it's all of this crazy stuff." There's, like,
Yeah.
doctors, like, bouncing on, like, the
Yeah.
type of cancer it could be,
Within
and it just, like,
hours.
for me, I just felt sad, you know? Like, I was like, "Do we even talk about it on the podcast?"
I think
But,
we
yeah, I
do.
think we need to because there needs to be change, like, I don't know what it is. Is it just, like, people want likes? Like, is it people are just
Is it the
bored? Like, what the
dopamine
fuck?
hit?
Like,
Are
I don't
we
get it.
bullies? Are we all bullies? You know,
Yes.
have we not, we've carried on that high school mentality. We love the gossip still. And we all play a role in this because we
Yes.
click on, even if it's just mindlessly clicking on it,
You're
it
still
makes them
clicking on
money.
it.
That
It's an
means,
algorithm.
yeah, exactly. It sells. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we all need to take a step back and think about what are we really consuming? It's
Yeah. Like,
garbage.
it's garbage, and we need
It
to
hurts.
reevaluate and maybe even, like, go and do a reality check once in a while because you can get on these social media platforms and change the type of information that's being sent
There you
to
go.
you. So if you
Yeah.
click on something and you're like, "Oh, crap, now I'm going to get all of this content all of the time," like,
Yeah.
you can actually fix that for
That's
yourself.
true. Yeah.
And
True.
with everything going on in the world, like, I do have settings for, like, no politics, no, like, pop culture when it comes to, like, that type of stuff, but it
Yeah.
still gets in front of you,
For
and it's
sure.
getting in front of children, and that's what's scary. That's the scariest thing about it because as adults, we have at least the knowledge, hopefully the education and logic to know what's right and wrong, but children, they're just getting brought up
In
with this
this.
false information, and they don't know. Like, they don't
Mhm.
have the mental capacity.
No.
They don't have the cognitive,
Right.
like, brain yet to be able
Right.
to navigate the internet of all possibilities.
And the
So it's
influence
definitely
that's gonna have.
something. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta monitor your kids' devices if you're not already, but it's just
Absolutely.
so sad.
As
And then
moms, that's just it's a whole nother level for us.
it's
The implications of
scary.
this. Yeah, for sure.
And I always say to myself selfishly, like, I'm kinda happy I have a boy. I think boys tend to not
Yeah.
get as involved in this
As
type of
right.
stuff, but if I had a daughter, I would be freaking out because there's just so much out there that's
Yeah.
scary. Like,
Absolutely.
kids really are acting like they're, like, 25 when they're, like,
I
10.
know.
But one thing that I will say to wrap this piece up is, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're white, if you're Chinese, if you're black, it really truly does not matter. Cancer is growing and it is
Yeah.
so scary. And it's like, was cancer that prevalent and we just didn't have the information we do now?
No.
Or is it truly something that is environmental, something that we can actually control? And I know you've done a lot of research, and we're not, just so you know, Mom Betch, we are a resourceful resource. We
Sure.
are not doctors. We are not given medical advice.
No.
This is just general information and conversation,
Raise
okay?
questions.
So I
Yeah.
want to put the disclaimer out there because I do know that talking about cancer can be very sensitive to people.
Yeah.
But you have done a lot of research and you come from the medical field and you have done a lot of, like, standard medical practice and
Sure.
also functional medicine practice,
Yeah.
and just your whole holistic approach to life has changed your whole family's being.
Right.
So what do you got for us today?
So, I mean, it's circle back. Kate Middleton is 42 years old. Okay. That's shockingly young with young children still. Okay. And I see it. I work in the OR and I've seen it all the time. My coworkers, we had a 36-year-old with breast cancer. I mean, it's not hearsay anymore. It's happening and it's real. So just to throw out some statistics from Dr. Connolly, MD, she has a fantastic Instagram platform. Give her a follow if you're, interested in kind of the health and how to maintain and improve. But she's seen unprecedented increases in cancer in 20 to 30-year-olds. 1 in 2 men will get cancer. That's the current statistics in the US, and 1 in 3 women. I mean, that's huge. That is so scary. 1 in 2 men. I mean, I could think of 2 men on the top of my hat,
I mean, our
or my husband.
husbands.
Yeah, 1 in 2. That's scary. That is it's terrifying. So she's saying, this is within 30 years. It's not long enough for our genes to mutate. So it's got to be environmental and what we're eating, what we're
So
breathing.
going back for someone like me, is
Yeah.
cancer's mutating genes, like, what does that mean?
So a mutated gene means that like your DNA gets replicated and it does it all the time, 24/7, okay? And that's how your cells multiply. And when you have presence of chemicals or free radicals in your body, a free radical is just like something with a negative charge. Okay. And so what it does is essentially will attack your DNA. And then that inhibits it from being copied into a direct copy. So there's going to be a mutation or an error in that copy, which can lead to the cell multiplying and becoming cancer because there's no regulation and the cell just can
Got it. So
keep
then
going.
cancer cells will begin to replicate
Right.
inside
There's
of your
no
body because there's no fight against those cells.
Right. Just like for an example.
Wow. Okay. So going back, I just wanted to like slow that one
Yeah.
down because it's
Yeah, for
really
sure.
interesting if you don't know anything about your body or your chemicals. Like, I don't. So it's really nice to kind of learn like bare bones basics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I interrupted you. So the doctor was saying that 1 in 2, 1 in 3 women.
Yeah. And she's linking it to the environment, to our foods. I mean, the companies are dumping chemicals into lakes, oceans. They're using this thing called glyphosate. That's Roundup. The thing that our husbands spray in the yard. Okay, well, that damages DNA and it has been directly linked to cancer. If you do a quick little, there's this like a medical kind of Google. It's called PubMed. If you ever want to do your own research, and it links to all scientific journals. There's research done on glyphosate, and it's been shown to cause cancer in humans. It's not hearsay; it's factual. You can look it up yourself, and it comes from that. And glyphosate is in our food. They use it obviously to prevent weeds especially when they're growing crops like wheat, corn. So it's really, really essential that your grains are organic so they don't
Okay.
have glyphosate in them.
So I have a question because, and like,
Yes.
hopefully this resonates with people because I'm pretty basic. But I try to buy organic all of the time, and I've seen different information
Sure.
saying like if it's contained like a banana, like it's in a peel, you don't have to buy organic.
That's
But if
usually
it's like
true.
an apple, you should buy
Absolutely.
organic. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Because you're eating the peel. So the peel on the outside, like the banana's been sprayed with the pesticide, but you're not
Got it.
consuming it. The apple is going directly onto the skin that you're eating. Um, so every year they come out with the dirty dozen and the dirty dozen and the clean 15, I believe. And it's the clean 15, meaning that you don't have to buy them organic, that they're fine. You can buy
Got
them
it.
regular, so you can save some money in the grocery store. And every year, there's a new list. And 2024 just came out. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I know for sure on the Dirty Dozen, apples were on there. They're always on there. Blueberries, raspberries, all the berries. They have high levels of pesticides.
Wow. And like organic meaning there is no pesticides, like
Oh
they
no,
treat the
no,
crops
there is
completely clean.
pesticides. No,
There is.
there are pesticides. Yes, but they use less of them, and
Got it.
I don't believe that they can use glyphosate, which is what Roundup.
So
So that's what.
glyphosate is like the big trigger.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
So if you follow one of my most favorite food warriors, I like to call her, is the Food Babe. She has like a whole company of protein powders and stuff. Her stuff's great. It's clean. It's organic. But she really kind of tries to stick it to these big food corporations. She went after Kellogg's. Now she's going after Chick-fil-A. I don't know if you saw, but this week they kind of silently changed and updated their website. She called them out on it. You can go on chick-fil-a.com and see it. In 2014, they said that they were going to go antibiotic free for all their chicken, their poultry. Well, they're rolling back on that now. And so starting in April of this year, they will be using antibiotics that are not medically used, meaning they're not going to use amoxicillin, erythromycin, like the ones that we would use, but it doesn't matter because they still drive antibiotic resistance, which means that if you got sick and you had an ear infection, right, and you're eating all this Chick-fil-A chicken, okay, and then you take this antibiotic, it might not work for you anymore because your body's so
Because
used to seeing
because
it.
so if an animal ingests
Yes,
antibiotics,
yes,
it actually goes against your resistance to medication. That's
correct.
crazy. I had no idea. I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot of people didn't know that, but it makes sense because, like, I took Lakin to the doctor once and he had an
yeah,
ear infection,
yeah,
and they were like, most of the time we don't treat ear infections with amoxicillin or whatever unless
yeah,
it's extremely bad or they're just like not tolerating everything. Like it's just tough on them
yeah.
because they don't want children to be resistant to that medication.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea
Yeah,
that that's because we're eating the medication through animals and through
yeah.
processed foods.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. They've done all kinds of studies. Like, uh,
So, like beef jerky, chicken jerky, like you still have the chance to like ingest.
you should try to get pasture raised or at least organic. So I
So,
would
same
say
with eggs.
yes. Hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. McDonald's, all the rest of them, they do not have that. They use antibiotic meat. So, I mean, if that's what you regularly do to, survive, I mean, I think as moms we have to start reevaluating, what we're doing. And I get it, convenience is king, but maybe it's just frying an egg for dinner. And like we have these notions that dinner needs to be this elaborate meal, but it doesn't. Like we
Yeah.
just need to survive. Maybe it's just a healthy bowl of cereal and some milk and a banana. Kids love that kind of stuff. They love random dinner or breakfast for dinner or just something quick and easy.
I feel proud of
Tacos.
myself right now having this conversation with you because today for dinner, Lakin had a banana muffin, cottage cheese, and fruit.
There you go.
And for myself, I was like, "Is that enough food? Like, should I be making, like,
No.
spaghetti or something?" And I was like, "No, like, that's actually quite healthy and probably healthier than anything like a box of mac and cheese or
There you
whatever."
go.
But that's
Absolutely.
really interesting. So then what is your advice, like, when you're in a store because I'll be honest, like, I just look at, like, organic chicken, non-organic chicken.
Yeah.
I've never quite frankly looked at anything more on the label. Like, what should we be looking for?
I mean, the gold star is pasture raised.
Okay.
That means that the chicken can, walk around in a pasture, and it's limited to pesticides. They're not getting that corn GMO feed that the bottom of the barrel meat mass produced get, and that in turn, makes them low quality meat. They have, you know, antibiotics and all that makes your body susceptible to all that.
That's crazy. What else do you got for us? I feel like
Yeah.
this is so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's tie it to our season, right? Easter season. You go to Walmart, you go to
Mhm.
Target, you go to all the grocery store, and we are '90s children. So I just saw a statistic: '90s children, we grew up on 61% processed food. Do you know what it is for our kids' generation? 81%. So yeah. So all of the candies that we saw that kind of reminiscent of our childhood, I think we really need to they're not innocent. They are, quite frankly, garbage and artificial colors that they contain. They can disrupt your immune system. They're linked to ADHD, allergies, skin reactions. All of this. It all comes down to how much of this are you consuming, right? So if you're just having it here and there, you're probably not going to see this. But if a kid's eating mac and cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese, you turn it over, they have yellow food dye, okay? And they had a bag of Skittles, red 40, yellow, blue, all of the blue, yellow food. And then it just adds up. They had some soda later on. I mean, you think about it, and they do that day after day after day. That's when we start to see issues. Same thing, like Reese's, they have this chemical called TBHQ. And there was a recent study that came out. You can look on it in PubMed. It's published in 2022. And basically, it's cytotoxic, meaning it's toxic to cells. It's genotoxic, which means it's toxic to your genes, your DNA. It's carcinogenic, meaning it causes cancer. And it's mutagenic, which means that it's going to cause mutations in your DNA. And that is what's in a Reese's Pieces, people. So you have to consume, it did say you have to consume over 0.7 milligrams per kilogram for these things to happen. But who knows? Like, you do not know
Well,
how much
it's
you're
like
consuming
that's
because
just Reese's, but then if you have this type of stuff inside of every single thing
crackers,
you eat, you know what I mean? Like that
and you don't
begins
know
to
how
add
much.
up. And the
You
United States, we're obese. Like
you
we're
don't even
overweight as so it's like scary to think that we're basically causing our own cancer. And what's sad is for the most part, some people, like you said, it's like the cheaper the food or the less inexpensive the food, probably the worse quality.
right.
And that's just really sad.
It really is. So, and then sugar in general, a lot of them, they
Yeah.
use the bottom of the barrel sugar. It's genetically modified GMO sugar. So what does that mean? That means it was exposed to Roundup, which, linked to cancer.
That's crazy.
So, you know, it's not really innocent anymore. And it's not just hearsay, it's real. Like, the facts are starting to show, what we put in our bodies is having a extremely negative effect on our health.
So here's a question for you, and if you can't answer it, I totally understand.
Yeah,
But, like, is cancer hereditary? So where I'm going mentally is like
sure.
if you just genetically hereditary have cancer in your family, and then on top of this,
Yeah,
you're eating and consuming whatever whenever,
yeah,
are you at then even a higher risk?
for sure.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's super scary. Okay, so we're going into Easter. We have an opportunity to relook at how we do Easter, which I think
right.
is very exciting because this, but the podcast comes out on Thursday. So that's a few days before you really nail down that Easter basket.
Yeah,
I looked up some ideas. I know you have. Like, what do you
yeah.
have for us for Easter? And then I'll go.
Okay, so some clean name brands of candy are Yum Earth, Ocho, Black Forest, and Justin's Peanut Butter Cups. If you've ever seen those are some cutesy names. My child is 2.5, close to 3. Whether it's organic sugar or not, I just try to limit sugar because it's just not beneficial to our bodies. And she's so young. And what you consume kind of it influences your taste buds, especially at this young age. What they eat now will determine what they crave later on in life. So I just try to, limit. I'm obviously not going to deprive her. I give her some lollipops, but she,
Yeah.
all within reason. So for her Easter eggs, what I like to do is I will stuff them with little treats. Shout out to Eat Lovebird cereal, which I know
Oh,
Lakin
yeah.
loves. It's clean Cheerios. There's no glyphosate, which if you look up on PubMed, there is a study, and Cheerios ranks very high with
Mm-hmm.
glyphosate. It's one of the higher foods, and I know, and it's sad because that's what kids love. As awful, also goldfish as well. So, anyways, I will put some clean Cheerios in there. We'll throw in some her little fruit bars, Scout fruit bars. She loves those.
Yep.
They fit in eggs. I'll put in some clean, lesser evil cheese balls in there. I'll put hair clips. I will put some stickers, tattoos, little toys, and that's what she gets in her Easter eggs. I did get her a chocolate bunny for her Easter basket, though. I picked this up at Whole Foods. I was pretty, and just because it's Whole Foods, guys, does not mean that it's clean. You really
Facts.
have to read the labels.
If you
And
hear
so
the
the
crunching, we're doing like a little AMSR.
so this is a Lake Champlain chocolate. It is organic. It's milk chocolate and sugar, milk powder, cocoa butter, chocolate liqueur, and vanilla extract. That's it.
Oh, interesting. So there's,
So
wait, was there no sugar? No sugar added?
there is sugar in this guy, but
Okay.
it's organic sugar.
Okay.
But
I do.
it's a bunny.
You're never going to get away from sugar
No,
completely. How do you
no.
feel about artificial sugars? Because it's kind of like the butter thing for me. It's like, do you have butter? Do you not have butter? Do you do the artificial sugar? Do you not do the artificial sugar? It's kind of like Coke, Diet Coke. It seems like it's all just bad.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
I mean, stevia has been linked to infertility. Apparently, like Native Americans used it as a kind of birth control back in the day. I read something about that. It's very interesting. Don't quote me
Wow.
on that, but something like that.
That's crazy. Okay. So, a couple ideas I have are homemade treats,
Love
like
it.
homemade muffins. You can, like, I'm on a sourdough kick. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll make a cute, like, granola, like sourdough granola bars or like a
Yep.
healthier cookie. And I tried to use natural sweeteners like honey and maple syrup. How do you
Yes.
feel about
Yes.
that?
Love those. Love it.
Okay.
That, and then if you're going to use a sugar, make it coconut sugar because it doesn't raise the blood sugar.
That's good to know, actually, because I never realized that we need to worry about juvenile diabetes and
Absolutely.
that that's on a rise.
Adults as
I
well.
I just thought that like kids were immune to anything, but that's just simply not the case. Wait, why do we look so young? Is it because we were only 60% processed and they say like Gen X,
Yeah, it's
they look like they're like old? Is it because of the processed foods?
bro.
But I'm right there with you with like the small toys and stickers. Like I got a pack of these little like dog crayons
How cute.
and I'm gonna put them in the Easter eggs because he loves that. And then they also have like egg chalk for like outside,
Oh
and that can
yeah,
fit in an
perfect.
Easter egg.
Yeah,
And then even like healthier beverages. You know what I mean? Like if your kid, like, do you have like a healthy beverage? I don't. This is make me asking like right off the gate, but like, do you
yeah.
have like a go to?
So we do a little Olipop. I know it does have stevia in it, but it's not an all the time thing.
Yeah, I love.
And otherwise, it's pretty solid ingredients list.
Yeah, I love Olipop. Like if we are going to, that's what we do because it's a
Yeah,
probiotic too. So
yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
gonna be better than like a pop or
Mm-hmm.
like your
Oh
average like
yeah. I mean,
Coca-Cola.
that's made with garbage. So.
The other idea is activity coupons, which I've never thought
Oh,
of, but like create coupons for fun activities like a family bike ride or a trip to the
love that.
park or a homemade healthy cookie session together. Or even
Oh,
maybe it's
that's
going to get ice
cute.
cream. Like, isn't that
I love
cute?
that. No, I love that.
Yeah, but I think it's like just incorporating different items into their Easter baskets and doing it from here on out. It's going to help promote like healthier habits.
Yeah,
And I think
and
it's out of the box. Like I think it's kind of fun to be creative as moms.
yeah, for sure. You know, we vote with our dollar, right? So if we want these corporations to take us seriously, we got to take it from the fat CEO at the top of the chain, take his money away from him.
I mean, like if you think about it, like the analogy I have for that statement is like malls. Like malls are shutting down because people are buying online. Like we have the opportunity to start to go back to the
Yeah,
basics and stop some of this from just mass producing because we make the decisions and like we don't have to just keel over at the age of 30. You know what I mean? Like we can make
yeah,
those choices to be more mindful when we're out and
for sure.
about, purchasing food for ourselves or our families. It's just been so interesting, this conversation, and I'm sure we could keep going and going and going,
Yeah,
but I think this gives people, at least, I mean, it's given me a good start to
yeah,
like how I look at going to the grocery store and how I can prepare for Easter
yeah, for sure.
because convenience is scary. Like, there's so many things just at the tip of your fingers. You can DoorDash, Instacart, like, a lot of people, you go to the dollar store and it's like on a budget, and I get it, but
And I
it's
get
like,
it. Yeah,
instead of buying that crap candy, maybe just go for a bike ride as a family. Like, your kids will remember that more
that's
than the
true.
piece of shit candy they just ate.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. I think that we, we really like addressed some big topics today. I'm pretty proud of where we went.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this is just the beginning of having guests. Like, we're going to have a
Oh yeah.
pediatrician coming up in May, and she has a book, Parent Like a Pediatrician. We have so many guests lined up that are going to bring so much information to the podcast. And I'm so excited to work alongside of you to get this information out, because I want Mom Bitch, and I know you do too. Like, we want Mom Bitch to be a safe haven for women,
Yeah.
and a place where, like, is it always going to be mom stuff? Probably not. We're more than just moms. Like, we're going to have
Uh-huh.
some fun, but we're going to do it appropriately, okay? Like, I don't want to be Blake Lively and have to issue an apology one day because I'm just being frivolous with my words, even if they're meant to be completely innocent.
Yeah, right.
Like, people have power online, so it's how you do it. But I think that's a wrap. So,
Yeah.
everyone,
And
have a really great Easter. We are going to do a recap of this in a blog. And then also,
yes.
too, we've named out so many amazing brands that we'll make sure that that's in the description of the podcast and in the blog the same day that we launch the podcast
Love
next
it.
Thursday, or this Thursday,
Yeah.
and utilize it. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like, thank you so much for going through all of this medical research, because it's so important for us as women to, like, be on top of this kind of stuff.
I think as a mom bitch for me is just like it's questioning the social norm. It's
Yeah.
doing what's best for you and your family. And I think that we really nailed it with this episode. Also, if you
Yeah.
follow me on Instagram, anytime I go to Costco, I will be sharing healthier alternatives that I buy for my family and myself. So
Yep, we'll
watch
put
my
the Insta
stories.
handle.
Yeah,
It's Cami Bitch. ITSCAMIBETCH.
yes,
And that's
ma'am.
also linked in the mombetch.com, mombetch, Instagram, so on and so forth. But we have a lot coming at you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. We will talk to you guys soon.
Happy Easter.